So Stephen A. Smith receives his massive deal, 125 million dollars, man. Shout out to Stephen A. Listen, man, when your first priority is to, make the bosses happy, and when you are willing to do whatever it takes to do so, hey man, yeah, you will eventually, we believe over you with these mega facts, get a promotion and things of that nature, man. But the thing is, bruh, you gotta understand the soul selling, pride sucking, dignity eating, things that entails. You know what I'm saying? And listen, man, some people are willing to sacrifice their honor and respect for that money, man. You know, I say most people. You know what I'm saying? We as quiet as it's kept. We see so many people putting, you know, cape on. You know, cooking Stephen A. And rightfully so, he deserves to be cooked. But we do not believe that most of the people that are, cooking Stephen A. would not, do what Stephen A. is, bidded to do by his so-called head honchos. You know what I'm saying? If you dangle a potential $125 million in front of their face, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I mean, the people that are gonna be outraged at how Stephen A. is, you know, how Stephen A. um, is the type of people that Stephen A. will never encounter. You know what I'm saying? So it's really no skin off of his bones. And the thing is, nobody really cares to go and confront Stephen A. He's a clown. Nobody, who cares? Well, cooking him is a market. And well, that's just how it's going to continue. And Stephen A. makes it more of a market, um by responding, and he can't stop responding because he knows the truth in these cookings that he is given to his ass. Shout out to Stephen A. um According to reports, man, it seems as though Stephen A. is was beginning to drag Shannon Sharp down with him if this deal didn't fall through. Shannon Sharp would have already, from what we've seen, put a bad taste in the so-called head honcho's mouth, by causing a division in the NBA, ESPN circles. We'll see how this goes, man. Shout out to Shannon Sharp. Shannon Sharp cannot be the Shannon Sharp he was on Undisputed, because he's not given the opportunity to do so. His opportunity to do so comes in a 1v1 setting, you know, um, going reasoning for reasoning with somebody against somebody and their logic, um, cooking them or getting cooked based on that. And listen, man, the thing is, Stephen A., because of what happened with Keller Max, will never go back to that setting because he can't deal with getting destroyed and cooked, by anyone. When he gets cooked, he can't stop putting his nose in the comments and seeing himself getting cooked, and he can't stop responding to it, and it burns him up even more. You know what I'm saying? And that's just, and without the 1v1 setting, Shannon Sharp doesn't have the time to, you know, give his little analogies and things. He doesn't have the space to do his own thing. You know what I'm saying? And it's neutering him. Um, Ratings be damned. We understand that the ratings is much higher when Shannon Sharp is there versus when he's not, and things of that nature. But that's just because of who Shannon Sharp is. If Shannon Sharp was able to do his regular thing, the ratings would be better. But Stephen A won't allow that to happen because he won't be that much outshined, man. Maybe he'll allow it now because he's gotten his contract. That makes sense. I mean, listen, why not drive up the ratings and sit behind Shannon Sharp while he does his, you know, That's his thing. I mean, listen, you got your money now, but if you would have done this beforehand, there would have been no use for you, Stephen A. Besides your, your all-time cooning and buck dancing that you do, and we believe over here with these mega facts that that is invaluable to ESPN, and that's why you're basically gonna be there to stay, man. Pat McAfee, shout out to Pat McAfee. Listen, man, stepped in the building and immediately got his money before you, and that's crazy. But listen, man, Pat McAfee is he's a risk. Ratings be damned. It's about the Mockingbird media's agenda, and Pat McAfee, due to his independence of his own audience and things of that nature, he's a loose cannon. He's one that cannot easily be controlled. He called out one of your boy Norby or whatever. That is a bridge too far. You know what I'm saying? If you ask us over here with these mega facts, when we're talking about the they being named and things of that nature. Shout out to Pat McAfee. He's much more of a liability when it comes to ESPN than Stephen A. or Shannon Sharp. Shout out to Pat McAfee. Um, and man, even though Shannon Sharp has the most popular podcast out, like I mean, listen, man, who's driving Shannon Sharp's podcast? Maybe that takes away a lot of the power that he has. Maybe Pat McAfee has a lot more power individually with him and his conglomerate than Shannon Sharp does with him. Even though Shannon Sharp, um, it is. I mean, even though Shannon Sharp is the face, like Patty might not have the same power over his own ish that Pat has. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Shannon Sharp. Shout out to Pat McAfee. Shout out to Stephen A. Man. This is funny. You know what I'm saying? We'll see how this whole thing goes, man. Listen, when you're tapping strong, you get strong rewards and things of that nature. It is what it is. Shout out to Stephen A. You know.